It was important for us as Māori to assert that we had the integrity and the capacity and the capability to run a health clinic. So we have to participate not as workers on the factory floor and cleaners on the factory floor, but we can actually own it and run it. And these are all good statements for us to make.
Nā i nei whāinga ka whakatūria a Wai Health e Waipareira, kia pai ake te hauora o te iwi Māori kātahi ka rua, kia au kaha ki te tini i ngā rerekētanga hauora ki wāinga i ngā Māori me rātu o ngā iwi.
So we built everything off our GP clinic. And our first GP was Dr. Sue Kringle, who's from Naito. She did an extraordinary job. But like most things, you know, we burnt her out. But you know, that's the nature of us in growth mode. We have burn-offs because we're never funded for setups, right? We've come to this industry late, and other industry players have got huge advantages all over the shop on us, and so we're always underfunded to kick off with, and that means very good people get burnt off or burn out, you know? That is a casualty of growing, you know, we just have to accept that. People say, oh, you shouldn't accept that. No, hey, it's a new war, isn't it, that we're facing ourselves with, and so there will be casualties.
Ko Greg Nader tētahi o ngā kaimahi toa o tēnei pakanga.
Māori health is funded well below what it should be, you know, and looking like they're trying to take even more of it out. You know, they're trying to pasteurise us, and pasteurisation is great if you want sterile milk, but no good for living things.
I've been working with Waipareira for 4 years, and I don't think I'd go back to mainstream, especially working alongside with our people. I think this is, you know, people working for our people. I think you see the bigger achievements like that instead of like with mainstream people working with Māori. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Eh? And it's more, it's more diverse.
The biggest barriers to our family to getting health is they look at health as a luxury, because they've been conditioned to do that. And the reason I say that is, you know, you're a mum or a dad here in Waitakere, and you got tamariki. You've got to choose what you're going to put on the table. Now, a bottle of Panadine or some antibiotics doesn't weigh up against Weet-Bix bread, butter and sugar. So what we have to do is we have to find a way to deliver that. And sometimes it's as simple as actually us going out to them, picking them up, holding their hand, making sure that they're looked after, making sure that they understand. The other thing is too, is if you're going to run a Māori organisation, a Māori health organisation, you better be prepared to work twice as hard to get the same results. Because our families are, you know, that's that attitude, you know, health's a luxury.
E hara I te mea mā te wāia haere anake ki te tangata mo te hui, engari mā te whaiwhai ia rātau, te hari kaipea, te mārama ki ngā mea e hiahi ana rātau me te hononga tika a te whānau ki te tīma o Wai Health.
Just my notes that I gathered from our visit today, just about babies breastfeeding, about motions, and also just so that you're aware about sleeping baby on back.
We go in, we have an understanding that we might be going in to do a milestone check on our children. But when we're in there, they may tell us about something that's happening with granddad or with the brother or so-and-so. I mean, we've got ACC workers here, you know, dedicated to making sure that our people get what they want. You know, our people don't even understand ACC, you know. Our people still think that unless you're working, you're not entitled to it.
Ko te whakamārama ki te hāpori I ngā mea e tāi ai te whiwhi, ngā kaupapa kore utu, paku utu rānei etahi o ngā mahi nui a te tīma o Wai Health, kia whakaiti haere ngā mauiwi. Kua kitea e ngā kaimahi hauora wāhine, ko ngā wāhine Māori te hunga matua kaore I te whaiawhina hauora.
We're just starting an adventure with WOF4 and going to go into the factories and see if we can speak to the women in the factories, because the women are working and they're not interested in leaving work and going to the doctors. And so what we try to do is coordinate enough women and then bring in a smear taker. We can even take them to the jobs and then they can have them done there. Some factories are really great. They're happy for us to do that for them.
Some of the biggest issues facing Māori health providers, in no order of exclusivity or a priority order, is we don't understand our value, and so we cut one another's throat. right? So you've got this mana whenua versus us tangata whenua argument, you know, and health funders and providers play us off. Secondly, you've got us being played off by the Bernardos and the Plunkets and everybody else, who are not run by us, not run for us, but make a lot of money out of servicing us, and sometimes very poorly.
Ko tētahi o ngā kaupapa matua mo te hauora o te iwi Maori, ko te whakarite māhere e tika pūmau ana mō rātou.
That money is being used to translate European resources into te reo. But it's not the language of the resource that makes it Māori, it's the whakapapa, it's how it was consulted on, it was how people buy into it, it's about people participating. I think it's important personally for people to have the reo, because where you see the reo, you also see healthy people. You know, he hana tohu pai o te hauora, o ko te tahi ko te reo. Ko te rua, te piringa ki ngā whakapapa, ko te tuatoru, te piringa, te manaki o ngā kaumātua, ngā kuia. So, you know, tino whānui nā mea hauora. E hara no te hauora no iho. I nei me te reo, te whakapapa, te whanaungatanga o tātou mokopuna hoki. Ko tēnā te hauora.
Ko koe te tangata whakaputa mōhio ni.
Ko koe. E hara tēnā. E tangata whakaputa mōhio. Pea. Whakaputa mōhio pea. Māori health at its best would be the best model of health in the world, because what it survives on is participation from all of the stakeholders. So it's a stakeholder-based kind of a modality, kaupapa Māori. Because you keep bringing it back, o te, you know, I te tīmata ko te whakapapa, te hakamutina o tēnā ko te whakapapa hoki. And mehe me kārito mahi he whakakahangia tō tātou whakapapa, e hara tēnā he hauora Māori. E hara tēnā he hauora. You know, the reo is a taonga that you can get if you want. But there are, I think for some of our families, there's a stage before that we have to be careful with as health workers, that we don't make these things that are Māori so unachievable for them that they end up feeling unhealthy because they're not up to scratch. The best thing that we can do is to be the best Māori that we can, maintain the reo that we've got, use it where it's appropriate, and encourage our whānau to do the same. If you have a definitive view of what Māori is, that can actually be unhealthy. Because what happens to people is they think, if I haven't got the reo, then I'm not as good a Māori as that person over there. That's not what it's about at all. You know, whakapapa is bigger than that.